All right, that's my paternal haplogroup, EU290. Here's gonna be some. Here's gonna be some information from a article written in the European Journal of Human Genetics. All right, evidence from Y chromosome analysis for late exclusively Eastern expansion of the Bantu-speaking people. Okay, so we're gonna get. This was published in 2011, revised in 2012. All right, so let's just get some of the abstract. Then we're gonna get some of the intro and then the results. Okay. There's an increasing evidence that the expansion was more complex was a more complex process than originally thought, and that neither a single demographic event nor an early split between Western and Eastern groups occurred. In this study, we analyzed unique event polymorphism and short tandem repeat variation in non-recombining Y chromosome haplogroups contained within the E1B1A haplogroup, which is exclusive to individuals of recent African ancestry. In a large, geographically wide distributed set of sub-Saharan Africans groups, 43 different groups, all right, all of whom except one Nilo-Saharan speaking group spoke a Niger-Congo language and most a Bantu tongue. All right, so you got 43 different groups with with over 2,000 subjects. Most of them speaking Bantu. All right, so you're gonna see how the language and the people are related in all these different areas because now they're saying that there was an expansion from an eastern and look at this an exclusively eastern route. Analysis of diversity and rough estimates of times to the most recent common ancestors of haplogroups provide evidence of multiple expansions along eastern and western routes and a late exclusively eastern route expansion. All right, like I said, we don't care much about that. We want to get the connection between the people and the facts about the seed. That's right. All right. So how big is this expansion? The Bantu language family is distributed throughout most of sub-equatorial Africa and is the continent's largest both in terms of the numbers of individuals speaking it and its geographic spread. This level of linguistic homogeneity among geographically distant populations, you see that? Geographically distant populations across sub Saharan Africa supports the suggestion of rapid expansion. Yeah, that's right, scattering. Because of the separation of the two major waves around 3,500 years before present. You see that? Two major waves of expansion, of scattering, around 3,500 years before present Israel. Understand that. And the subsequent isolation of many groups, modern Bantu languages can be divided into West and East Bantu. More recently, based on over 1,300 autosomal markers, Tishkanoff showed that Bantu-speaking groups exhibit a considerable level of genetic similarity. All right, so that means we're all connected. All right, so just understand they're now just saying how they found this connection between Bantu speaking people which were thought mainly to be in West Africa. Now they seeing them in high concentrations in the East. All right, so that's part of the introduction. Let's just get to the results of this, because the results, even though we didn't read much of all this, what was in this journal, all right, we're going to get to the results and get the meat of this, okay? So we got some of the abstract, some of the introduction. Now let's go to the results of this. Basically making the connection between Bantu speaking people over the continent. Let's get the results. Oh, well, first let's take a look at this. Of the possible 17 haplogroups, 12 were observed in the complete data set with haplogroup E1B1A model. All right, so they give you the range. Now look, both overall and in every sub-Saharan African group. You see that? So in overall and in every sub-Saharan African group, which means all those Bantu speaking people that ended up in sub-Saharan Africa, which are the Shemitic people, the Hebrews. So of a possible 17 haplogroups, because that's other people closely related to them, but you got 12. All right, you got a complete data package on 12. 12 were observed in the complete data set with haplogroup E1B1A model. So in other words, 12 were identical. All right, 12 were identical with all the things that would make them the same group of people from the same common ancestor. See what I'm saying? So basically, all these people of the possible 17 haplogroups come from a common ancestor, but 12 were observed in the complete data set. All right, within where E1B1A. So who were they? What group of people were they? Both overall and in every sub-Saharan African group. So it's showing you that's the people. It's the sub-Saharan African groups that are observed. And in that are observed as a complete haplogroup, with 12 haplogroups completing the said data standard of what's called E1B1A, complete data set with haplogroup E1B1A modal, and it gives you the marker, or should I say the range for the marker. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't the range for the marker, but that was the percentage range for two different population groups. All right. The overall E1B1A and every sub-Saharan sample. All right, that's what that's dealing with, the percentage. Both overall in every sub-Saharan African group. Only two other haplogroups exceeded 5% of the total. Man, I don't know why this. Man, hold on. All right, it gives you those other branches. Okay, outside of E1B1A, but closely related. Table 1 reports the frequencies of all observed haplogroups, including the component haplogroups of E1B1A. So we're going to look at the table. We're just going to read on and get this important fact right here. Haplogroup E1B1A7 or E1B1A8 is modal in all groups, with the exception of Bankan, Cameroon, Infanti, Ghana. The pooled frequencies of E1B1A component haplogroups based on their geographic locations are also shown in figure 2. So you see that? E1B1A7 or either E1B1A 8 is the modal in all groups, with the exception of the Cameroon and the Ghana. Why? Because E1B1A 7 is not that high in Cameroon and in Ghana. You're going to have mostly E1B1A 8. That's why you got the asterisk behind that 8 right there. But the 7 is high in the Igbos and the Nigeria. The 7 is real high over there. Matter of fact, we're gonna take a look at this table in Figure 2. But let me see something. Yeah, E1B1A 7 or E1B1A 8 is modal in all groups, with the exception of the Bankum and Cameroon and Fonte in the Ghana. All right, so let's look at Figure 2. All right. So you have, the different subclades of E1B1A going all the way up to, the most recent, which is the E1B1A8. All right, or the descendant of 8, which they say is you got a 9 out there. Okay, but so you see the Bantu speaking people all over the place. No way they should be related, but they are. You see what I'm saying? Why? That's because that's the promise made to Abraham. That's his seed. Multiply like that, man. All, you know what I'm saying? That's right. They just give you different percentages. All right. All right. Let's move on. Get the meat of this stuff. We saw that you had the 12 haplogroups in a complete set overall and in all sub-Saharan African uh, samples. So all out of all the sub-Saharan Africans, they saying they got 12 haplogroups under E1B1A. Do you understand what that is saying? They got 12 haplogroups under E1B1A in every single sub, which basically is consistent. It's saying that the same thing that we always say is that they scattered us, and we ended up at the end of the day in West Africa, and they led us from away from that place on slave ships, and that's consistent with what we say. And here these people saying is that we're all over the place, and we know that because the scriptures tell us that. All haplogroups within E1B1A were observed in the Bantu homeland, West Central Africa, East Africa, and Ghana, whereas haplogroup E1B1A8A1A, although present in the Bantu homeland in East Africa, was not observed in either Ghana or West Central Africa. Diversity of E1B1A was calculated at 5 component haplogroup level range. And it shows you that. So let's get down and show you the pretty much the meat of that test and the result of it. Again, I don't know why when I highlight this joint it does that on me. All right, nevertheless. So we're going to take a look at the short tandem repeat haplotypes on the Y chromosome and the unique event polymorphisms, and now you're going to see a kind of a breakdown of how those 12 E1B1A haplogroups. You're going to see how they came about. You're going to see how they the components of them in a sense. So here goes the expansion of Bantu speaking people. 6 short tandem repeat haplotype was modal in 36 out of the 43 groups. Okay, so there's a bunch of scientific talk that you don't understand, but let me help you understand what that's dealing with. Like, I don't know why I try to highlight it, knowing that I had that trouble when I do that. Forgot that fast, but we gonna keep pushing. Get back right down here. So you got what a minute. So you have 6 short STRs, which is short tandem repeats. Okay, so what that means is that the same man and the same woman produced a male child. Okay, right, in concession, so to speak, in the same generation, so to speak. What does that remind you of? 6 short. Look at this. Here we go. 6 STR. So STR stands for short tandem repeat. You see what I'm saying? So that means the same 2 people repeating the same process that in a short period of time. I'm just trying to break that down for you, Israel, so I can show you how E1B1A connects to the tribes of Israel. So you have the EBSP, the expansion of Bantu speaking people. They possess what you call 6. They have a total of 6 STRs. So they have a total number of 6. That's why you got SIX right there. STR, which is short tandem repeat haplotypes that are modal. So in other words, what's modal? Modal is the most populous. It's the most common. It's the most populous and mostly generated of these most commonly seen. So that makes it the modal. Okay, so you have these 6 markers. All right, which is the most. It's not all the markers you're gonna see in E1B1A, but you got these 6 that says, "Hey, we're the original, we're the guys that shows you that all this stuff is connected." Because those six short tandem repeats is um is this is describing the part of the Y chromosome that shows 6 different men being brothers, or 6 nations being, related. So that's where you have the 6 sons that Jacob had with Leah. All right. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. That's the 6 short tandem repeats you see right there. The tandem is the 2 people doing the repeat process, which was them. Um, so you got these, 6 short tandem repeats that is modal in 36 out of 43 groups. And guess what? Out of the E1B1A branches, they were what? They and was almost always a member of E1B1A 8. So it's what it's saying is that you got 6 markers connected to each other, but most of the markers out of all those markers connected to each other, most of them belong to E1B1A8. So that's saying that E1B1A8 is really the most populous out of all E1B1A. That's what that's saying. Okay? Yep, and that's why it's modal. All right? It's the modal E1B1A. It's the 8 marker is you're dealing with the modal haplotypes, and that's why I think that's David. All right, you're dealing with David, Benjamin, and Levi, where you get down to these you know, I mean, and it's easy to say, oh, that was the Southern Kingdom, but I mean, it's deeper than that, because again, when you look at those 6 tandem repeats, man, you can't help but know that um, the process that took place was Jacob having those 6 sons with Leah. All right, and that's why they could group all us together based on those 6 men that were born in that process. But then you get some more help by the fact that not only was that a unique process, but you got the unique event polymorphism, which gave you more diversity on the same tree. Okay, so E1B1A 8 was modal, frequency up to 96%. All right. So here goes some important information. E1B1A. Oh, so TMRCA. All right. So that is uh, the most recent common ancestor. All right. Time to the most recent common ancestor. So the most recent common ancestor for E1B1A as a whole was estimated at 61 as at 6175 years to 6588 years before present. So overall, they're saying that all of our common ancestors lived at about 6,000 to 6,500 years ago before present, with the most common recent ancestor for the youngest haplogroup E1B1A8A1A estimated at 1100 to 1638 years before present. So you see how close and narrowed down to recent history they can trace our ancestry. They can trace it to that close of recent history. The youngest, that's my descendant right there. So that's the youngest haplogroup out of the youngest haplogroup out of E1B1A, estimated to 1100 years before present. And that makes perfect sense, man. Yeah, that's right. Because shit, that's about how long ago it was you people took us, man. All right, damn heathens. Nah, I'm probably off with that. I'm probably off with that calculation, but who knows? Uh, those are just estimated times. So E1B1A8, that's what I'm a part of, people. And you see that's modal haplotype. Now let's get down to, you saw that we fit the profile for 12 haplogroups in E1B1A, all right, out of possibly 17, which shows you that there was another 5 nations out there that we could have been a part of, but sub-Saharan E1B1A carriers are a part of their own nation, okay, that defines E1B1A. You know what I'm saying? And not people like the Edomites and the Ishmaelites, because that's who all those other people are that they don't want to put in that group with us, because they see we are our own group. They see that they got the data for 12 haplogroups, and so they won't try and put you in that group with us, because they see that us 12 brothers, the 12 sons of Jacob, they see that we're too closely related to have any error with who's our brother. That's how that's working, man. And that's what's beautiful about this. I wanted to get some on the unique event polymorphisms. I, let's look at table 3 real quick. Let's see here. So my paternal haplogroup is EU290. Let's get let's hit this. I think I looked at this earlier with some good info in here. So I just put Google Google my haplotype, incidence of EU290. We're gonna click on this article, see if I can get this info dealing with the unique polymorphism events. All right. So here goes the results from another study. That's all I want to do is let's get some results. Y chromosomal haplogroup frequencies and population differentiation among the 120 DNA donors composing the 4 Beninese population samples genotyped according to the phylogeny given in first S1 figure. Look at this. 12 Y chromosomal subhaplogroups were observed. Most of the individuals belong to one of 4 subhaplogroups. So now you see what I'm saying? Here goes subhaplogroups within E1B1A. Why is there 4 subhaplogroups? Because each one of these 4 haplogroups is a haplogroup created between Jacob and 4 women, people. That's how that's working. See? Jacob had children with 4 different women. That by itself created 4 different haplogroups. You see what I'm saying? And you see, this can't be Ishmael because you got 4 different haplogroups matching that 12 Y chromosome haplo. You see, because we know Ishmael had 12 nations too. But this is what lets you know that this part of E1B1A is all Jacob. These 12 Y chromosome subhaplogroups were observed. Most of the individuals belong to one of 4 subhaplogroups. You see that? M191, U174, U209, and your boy, yours truly, Yaram Yahawa, U290, man. That's right. That's right, Jack. Jacob's my daddy, and Leah's my mama, man. Any one of them women could be my mother. Shout out to my mother. My mother, Sarah. My mother, Rebecca. Leah, Rachel, Bill, and Zipper. It don't matter, man. I'm the seed, man. You see that? All right, this stuff ain't telling no jokes. It ain't telling no lies, man. So that's it. That's the 4 unique polymorphisms. Now let's show you what people they talking about, because I don't think we touched on that yet. Well, we did show you the Beninese. So here it go. All right. Let's just look at another table. Wow, that's amazing. Praise the Most High, man. I mean, look at people. I mean, look at this stuff, man. They not. I mean, these heathens may not even realize what they're releasing when they do that, because they probably don't think it's nobody. Uh, I mean, I don't. You know what? These heathens. I mean, it's just you can never know what they really know, because they working with the devil, and I know that the devil tell them everything he know, and the devil know who we are, but you know, I just don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, again, this information they're claiming they just gathered this. So this is information that should have been out long ago, to be quite honest with you. While I'm saying, oh, they don't know what they're putting out. Well, yeah, they may or may not know what they're putting out, but regardless, this is information that should have been out. You see what I'm saying? You telling me tie you could tie 12 unique and distinct nations within the E1B1A, the E haplogroup, And so within, because it's really just the E haplogroup. Abraham is E haplogroup by himself. And within the E haplogroup, within EM96, you got us with these markers that makes us E1B1A. And why does it make us E1B1A? What makes all of us E1B1A within this haplogroup E? All they had was 120 people to donate DNA. 120 people out of 4 Beninese populations. Only 120 people they gathered together, and what did they find within that 120 people? What was clear to them? I keep trying to highlight the best. Oh man, praise the Most High. And he needs to be trying to make me forget stuff. He needs to be trying to make me, you know, stumble and mess up on this information that the Most High has revealed. Well, why? You see that? When you see that why, that's Y chromosome, people, is what the father passes to the son, okay? This is what the father passes to the son. All right? 12 Y chromosome subhaplogroups were observed. These heathens are finally admitting it, man. They put it in figure 1. I'm not on the desktop, so I'm not going to click on it. It's just causing me a bunch of trouble. Maybe I'll remember to put the link in. I'll put the link to this thing in there, and you can go through it with a fine tooth comb, because I know I'm just kind of breezing over it. But I told you I just wanted to get you to meet. Now, haplogroup E, you got Hamites and you got Shemites, and you even got Edomites in that haplogroup E. But in that haplogroup E, you got this big old tree called haplogroup E1B1A. And what makes haplogroup E1B1A the haplogroup E1B1A? This right here is what makes it E1B1A. The fact that if you gather up people in the region from different areas and different groups, what the common thing is that you're going to find 12 Y chromosomal subhaplogroups. You're going to always find 12 subhaplogroups in Africa. That's all by themselves. That is what this is telling you, people. You're going to, no matter what you find in Africa, you're going to always find 12 Y chromosomal subhaplogroups. You're going to, if you look what happened. This is just the results. And it's plain and simple. You don't have to know nothing about what happened. This result tells you that among donors, among 120 donors they had, composing 4 Beninese population samples. All right. So according to the phylogeny tree, the phylogeny tree dealing with the Y chromosome, on the planet Earth, the Father, the Son seeds on the planet Earth. That's what you're dealing with. According to the Father, the Son seed on the planet Earth, in Africa, you're going to find 12 Y chromosomal subhaplogroups. Amen. And again, it's, you can say, well, anybody could have had 12 sons. All right, you can say what you want, but we believe in the scriptures, and the scripture said Abraham was going to be a multitude of nations. And he said Ishmael was going to be a great nation, 12 princes. But he said that Abraham was going to be the father of many nations. And that's what you see when you see this whole E1B1A haplogroup. It's its own haplogroup in Africa. And as a haplogroup, it shows you how it's broken down, haplogroups. And how many subhaplogroups are there? There's 4 subhaplogroups. Why is there 4 subhaplogroups? There's 4 subhaplogroups in E1B1A because E1B1A is made up of 4 nations if you divide the nations of the women. Because you see what I'm saying? The father of all those 12 Y chromosomes was divided between 4 women. So that's why you got 12 nations coming out of what they call 4 haplogroups. And it's the number of haplogroups 4. Why is there a total of 4 subhaplogroups? That's because the 12 nations descend from 4 different women, although they descend from the same man that makes them the 12 nations. So the 12 nations, the 12 Y chromosomes, and I know this looks mad because I'm flipping up and down the screen trying to find my spot again. Okay, because I just need the results. Go back to the results, the table of results. Okay, now I went way past it. It looks like I must have went past it. Yeah, I passed it up. Yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna do my best to put the link in there, you guys. I don't think you should have no trouble getting to this article if I put that link. I should be able to share this link with you. All right. So Salakia for the madness up with the screen, cause for some reason this website don't like me trying to highlight. Don't want me to highlight the text. Okay. But I hope you heard me clearly as you saw the proof. All right. Yeah, that's right. Where's my result? Gotta go back up here. All right, back there again. Yaram Yahawa, please don't try and highlight the text anymore. Let's just read. I trust Israel gonna read along with me. I'm just trying to make sure that you get it. You got 120 donors. That's not that many people out of 4 different West African Benin. Okay, and we know that's all. We know that these are all known Israelite territory. People, come on now. If you're listening to me and you're a Hebrew, you know that this is Israelite territory. So what's going to show you that we're still all together? Hey man, this stuff, you just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't make this stuff up, people. 120 donors out of 4 different populations and 12. I mean, people, look, you just can't make it up. And here I go highlighting it again. 12. Come on, Israel. You gonna keep denying this? You gonna deny that the Most High is not true to His word, that He's not the author of confusion, but of peace? I mean, that's confusion if 12 brothers can't take a DNA test and say, yep, we come back from the same daddy. Well, I mean, if you're an Israelite, you should be able to do that. You should be able to take a test and say, yep, I'm connected to these other 12 brothers, man. That's what E1B1A is, people. It's 12 Y chromosome sub haplogroups. You see that? 12 Y. Why? You see, 12 Y. All you father to the son is to see. Well, you can understand that that's a number of 12 different Y chromosomes being connected, meaning that that's the 12 sons of Jacob right there. Father, you get this, don't you? I know you tears get it who listening, okay? But I'm trying to keep this kind of PG for my and then again, I can't be, you know, sugarcoating it for you people who are just watching this because it's a so-called DNA video. I don't care about that. I'm trying to let my people Israel understand the significance of male Y chromosome DNA analysis testing. All right, so you can say for sure that you descend from these nations of Israel, man. That's right, man, because that's all we're trying to do is say for sure, you know, that I'm the seed of Jacob, because you people know that the scriptures talk about tares. The scriptures talk about the dogs and strangers and everything being with Israel. I mean, come on, man. You know, some of you people got to ask yourself, am I that guy? Am I that tare? Am I the dog heathen cleaving to the house of Jacob? Know your place and get it comfortable with it, man. All right, I'm telling you, it takes a lot of courage to do this stuff, but you men have to do this. You have to see if you're the seed of Jacob. Now, the Holy Spirit, blessed be his name, man. If he did not just increase our knowledge with the E1B1A thing, I've never seen no E1B1A teacher bring this out. Maybe somebody has already. I appreciate all you guys' stuff that you do on this whole E1B1A thing. Keep bringing it out. Keep edifying. But I came across this European Journal of Genetics and this article in this European Journal of Genetics, and this right here is totally unbiased, man. It's totally astounding that these Europeans took it upon themselves to go and find out more about E1B1A. And these Europeans over there in Europe are admitting that in their study, you see that? They don't give a damn about what 23andMe said, about what family tree. This ain't none of that, all right? This ain't got nothing to do with none of them DNA companies. In this study, okay, you got some old scientists on their own. The Y chromosome was genotyped in 120 unrelated DNA donors. You see that? Unrelated DNA donors from 4 Beninese populations, which were sampled for more than 2 decades ago. So they saying that what they're doing is following up on genotyping that they began on these people more than 20 years ago. All right. So now they've compared the YSNP, which is the singular nucleotide polymorphism. That's a singular nucleotide polymorphism, and the YSTR, which is the short tandem repeat. Oh no! So what that? So the SNP is when a man meets a woman for the first time. Okay. Or that's not gonna say the first time, but the S&P is each time the man meets a woman. So that each time a man meets a woman, in other words, when they have intercourse and conceive a man child, anytime that happens, all right, for though the bloodline between them two people is going to show a certain S&P. So in other words, the S&P is what the man and the woman makes together. That's what's showing up. The STR is just the frequency of what that man and that woman has created together. All right, so you got this, you got the singular nuclei polymorphism in conjunction with the short tandem repeat. So that's each of the women he dealt with, and that's every time one of the women had a child by him, it's the repeat. That's the data that they can clearly see of these samples with other Y chromosome data from the bite of Benin and surrounding areas published. All right, okay, and so that's the process of it. All right, and what the result? What was the result? So that was what they did. What was the result of it? Because that's where I thought we were at. I thought I found my way back to the results. Israel, hold on. That's it, people. Here we go to markers right here, man. This is what this is what your Y DNA should say if you're one of the 12 tribes of Jacob. Okay, those are the markers right there. All right, so it's a big family. All right, those four haplogroups. All right, all right. Now don't get panicky if you're. It depends on how what testing company you use with how they relate this information back to you. They might not say your haplogroup is like they told me U290. They might say they might give you I don't know. They might just say EV38, and EV38 is close, but it's not as detailed as U290, man, because U290 is a nation. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a modal. That's in other words, uh, that's one of those six short tandem repeat markers that was highly populated. U290 is, we're the youngest. It's like we have the closest connection to the common ancestor. We have the most recent connection to all of our common ancestor. That's right, we're the youngest. So that means we have the closest connection, okay? If we're the youngest of the children, we have the closest connection to the ancestor. So that's what that's dealing with right there, all right? Nevertheless, the most important thing is that you have one of those um, haplogroups, man. All right? Yeah, so now we're going to get something else out. I clicked on that and tortured that enough. Let's get a comparison. Now you see the facts. You saw the four unique event polymorphisms was something that um, happens because a man and woman meet. And so Jacob met four women, so you had four unique event polymorphisms. You see that a STR is a short tandem repeat. And what's what happened? What was tandem? The man and the woman was tandem. What was short? The time of the process of the repeated action, which was basically meaning they had six sons back to back in a short period of time. The same process was repeated. That's equivalent to what Jacob and Leah's relationship was like. The four unique event polymorphisms is equivalent to what Jacob and the four wives he had was like. All right. So now here we go. We're going to take a look at some people who are part of E1B1. All right. And they're um, see, that's the thing. They're all haplogroup E, but there's a dividing line when it comes to whether you're haplogroup A or B. So you got E1B1, but are you E1B1A? Because as you see on the right there, on the left side of of these pictures, the top The top row is going to be E1B1A. The bottom row is going to be E1B1B. So same haplogroup, but different branches. So now let's take a look at what we would consider um, some Edomites. I can see two right now that I noticed. I don't know if I know the other heathens on here. But there you go. You got the Edomite, Rusty, Rusty Rufus, Ruthless Adolf Hitler. All right, he's E1B1B. Then you got old Einstein right there. All right, so, and of course at the top I see my man Mandela, who is E1B1A. Now you see that first picture at the top, that's like somebody who may be Quasan or something. I don't know. But nevertheless, he's E1B1A. Okay? Now, the tricky part about that is how they putting him in the E1B1A group. Again, you have to have one of those four markers that we discussed in order to be an Israelite. So you see at the top row, E1B1A, no so-called white people. This guy with that big fluffy afro is the closest thing you'll see to white, but he's not white, he's just light. Other than that, everybody is black when you deal with E1B1A. Now, when you get to these Edomites, E1B1B, that line's supposed to start in Africa, all right? Because that's, that line's supposed to start in Africa and spread out into Europe and the Middle East. But look, you got these kind of people on E1B1B. Some look black or so-called African, but most of them are Edomites. They're white people. And I know that that's not a Shemitic Edomite. I'm not saying that. I just say Edomite because they're part of the nation of Edom, even though they're Grecians. These people are Grecians, all right? These people down here are Grecians, okay? And, you know, um, you can have Esau. You can have Esau being, like that crapshoot of a father. Like, okay, Esau wasn't really a white skinned dude, but he got down with all these other heathen nations, and this is what his seed ended up looking like. His seed ended up looking like what? Any and everybody. You see what I'm saying? You know, um, yeah, man. And again, I would have to look at some more markers before I say definitively that Esau would have had E1B1B. All right, I won't say that Esau had E1B1B definitively, but these are definitely a mixture of Hamitic and Shemitic people. Okay, yeah, that's right, man. So, but when you get to E1B1A, it's clear as day. That's right. We all the same. That's right, man. We ain't like these other people. We're a pure people, man. We're not all mixed up like these mutts. All right, that's enough. All right. So, let's look at some numbers and get some facts. E1B1, E1B1. All right. So this is E1B1. They calling that something that's Hamitic, maybe have originated in Ethiopia. All right. Now let's see how you compare that to E1B1A. Well, it won't show me. It show me right here. Oh, here it goes. It's gonna show us right here. Now let's look at E1B1A compared to E1B1. Haplogroup E1B1A is the main haplogroup in sub-Saharan Africa. Over 80% of the males in West Africa fall under this haplogroup, and others suggest that it likely originated in and expanded from West Africa, the Sudan, belt during the last 20,000, 30,000 years based on the fact that the frequency and diversity of E1B1A in this region are notably the highest found. With respect to E1B1A, a west to east as well as south to north clonal distribution exists. That is, the diversity and frequency increases as you move from east and North Africa to west and south of Africa. That's why it is called wait a minute. I thought it was, wait a minute. I thought it was going to say sub-Saharan. That's why it is observed in low frequencies in the Horn of Africa, northeastern Africa, and southwest Asia. So those are all the places that we would have been, should have been, originally were, but we're at low frequencies there now. Why? Because we're not at home. That's home, and we ran out of home. Where the E1B1B haplogroup has its lowest frequencies and its meager presence in these areas is generally characteristic to the slave commerce. So there you have it right there, man. They're admitting that E1B1, they're admitting that these other heathens, E1B1B, the only reason why these people are in our land is because of the slave commerce. Again, so if they're only there because of the slave commerce, then that means they're the slave owners, and that's the reason why they're there. So again, the people who should be there, we're not there. They just kicked us out and took the land. That's right. All right. Let me see something else. Let's get a little bit more, because look at what they say about my particular markers. It's pretty cool. I'm pleased to be such part of the elect, man. Bless the Most High. All right. E1B1A is the single most. I thought. All right. I know I changed the screen the other way. All right, but let me wrap this up, because my battery, I don't know if it's actually charging, although I got it plugged in, man. But bless the Most High. We might do another part to this, man. I like this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But this is long overdue. Uh, they, as you see, man, they admitting who they are. They're admitting that they're only in certain parts of the Middle East because of the slave commerce, which means that they ran the people out of there that belong there, which is us. E1B1. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Haplogroup E1B1A. Haplogroup E1B1A is the main haplogroup in sub-Saharan Africa. Over 80% of the males in West Africa fall under this haplogroup, and others suggest that it likely originated in and expected from West Africa. All right, I don't care about all that. Let's get down here. I want to look at this part right here. E1B1A is the single most common Y chromosome haplogroup among people of sub-Saharan African descent, both inside and outside of Africa. So why is that? Because if you're outside of Africa and if you're outside of Africa, you're more than likely E1B1A. Why? Because if you're outside of Africa, you're more than likely a descendant of the slave. And again, the descendant of the slaves are what? E1B1A. And the slaves are who? The slaves are the seed of Jacob, children of Israel. That's right. So E1B1A is the single most common Y chromosome haplogroup among people of sub-Saharan African descent, both inside and outside of Africa. All right. It has, so in other words, E1B1A is, we're the biggest haplogroup. We're the biggest, so in other words, we're bigger than all the Hamites in Africa. And we're most, and if you go outside of Africa and you find an African, it's more likely than us, the so-called sub-Saharan African, which again, we just reading along with that madness because that's what they tolerate. But if you go outside of Africa and find an African, it's going to be us, the Shemitic African, the Hebrew, all right? That's right, because, I mean, it's not being, it's just Africa, you're American, it's just where you from, or what they call the place. Our nationality, we know we're Hebrews. All right, E1B1A, the E1B1A subclades E1B1A7 and E1B1A8 are widely found throughout sub-Saharan Africans. E1B1A9 has been found only in one Gambian, and also the subclades for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are quite rare as well. All right, good stuff. Praise the Most High. But E1B1A is the most common Y chromosome haplogroup among people of sub-Saharan African descent, both inside and outside of Africa. Okay, now let's just get a look at some stuff. All right, so this is a Congolese woman. She's E1B1A. Uh, yeah, Bantu, Central Congo, and that's exactly the look out there too. That's that Congo. Yep, you can see she got like a lot of tribal stuff going on her body. Man, you talking about tattoos? Ooh wee, them some serious damn tattoos right there. All right, let's get some more pictures. Uh, let's go to Mali. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, we're in Syria. Oh, we're in Arab. We're in Arab. We're in Arab. Maghreb. Well, what do you know? Let's see here. Oh, it switched on me. It went from Iraq. It went from Maghreb to Ghana. Well, we know what's praise the Most High. We know what's up in Ghana. Hey, she bro sister, a new folk Kokosi. I know I just tortured the hell out of that, my sister. But forgive me. I had to give it a shot. Country, region, Ghana. All right, so she's a Gadite. Group, language, Ghanaian. She's a Gadite. What's her E1B1A? All right, all right, and they could show a picture of a woman and say E1B1A. Why? Because the women in Africa, they're 100% African, and there's no problem with them calling the women E1B1A amongst them tribes. Why? Because they know ain't no girls gonna be planted by no tares. They don't deal with that tear madness out there. You see that? You see that sister right there? I mean, you wouldn't know she was a Fulani from Nigeria until she started talking, man. All right. I mean, even with the makeup and stuff on her face, she looks no different than the average sister that you would see over here in the States, man. But she's Fulani, E1B1A. All right. That's right. She's the daughter of Judah. That's why they can put it. They could put that picture of that woman out of that tribe and show you what the people of the tribe look like. That's right. The women makes up these tribes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you see these unique polymorphisms or things on your Y chromosome that are inherited to you because of something your father and your mother did together. It's on they both stamped you, all right, in a unique manner when you were conceived. All right, so I don't know what just happened. I just closed out on myself or what? Let's see. Oh, we look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I don't know if I like this format. But ain't no E1B1A in Ukraine and Tatar, Crimean. Nah, ain't going down. Let's read this. Let's read this. Oh, that's E1B1B. I don't care about that madness. Well, we can just look at that real quick. Let's just look at because they're close to us and they're our neighbors in Africa. All right. E1B1B is found at high frequencies outside Europe, over 80% in Morocco. So there go your Arabs right there, or your Ishmaelites or whatever. Okay, but uh, you see, you see the so-called Moroccans, the people that are gonna be your Palestinian, your mixed sort, your Arab sort. They're gonna be a part of that. See, outside of Europe, Muslim state, Morocco, East Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia, Hamitic peoples. Males make up about 40 to 80%. North African countries of Tunisia, 70%, Algeria, 60. So you see, this is Ham right here. The Middle East regions, Jordan, 25%, Palestine, 20%, Lebanon. All right, so that's Ham, man. Okay, E1B1B is our brother Ham. All right, and like I said, I believe that you could have probably, uh, you know, had some close real. Well, I mean, that's on the other side. B is one branch, but then you got other branches that'll be close to it that'll probably be the Japhetic branches. But those are Hamitic branches. So, so this is the haplogroup that you're gonna see going into Europe and in Asia. All right, all right. With the peoples you find today. All right, all right. So, I guess that's enough, man. It's well over. It's over an hour. Um, praise the Most High. Hope that you guys were able to get something good out of this. But there you go, man. Edomites versus Israelites. Shout out to Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa. South Africa making you proud right now, brother Mandela. Kicking heathen ass over there, man. Getting the land back just like you always fought for, all right? Salutations to you, brother. Salutations to the sisters. Praise the Most High. Your brother remain true. Yaram Yahawa. E1B1A, 8A1, also called EU290. Okay. Yep. Modal. Modal, man. Modal meaning the model. Meaning I got all the goods, all right? I'm elect, baby. All right, let's get a scripture on that before we go, because uh, I had a lot of glitches, and I don't know if the scripture that I wanted is going to end up. Uh, matter of fact, if I don't get it here, I mean, I would have to do a lot of editing to get it in. So now let's just go back to the scripture that I wanted to tie into all of that. Since you see that we're the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the longest, all right? And we fit prophecy, baby. Considers not thou what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which Yahawa have chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith Yahawa, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinance of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. Praise the Most High. But let's go back here and get this promise for population. For thus saith, this is Jeremiah 33:17. For thus saith Yahweh, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. Neither shall the priests and Levites want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah, saying, thus saith Yahweh, if you could break my covenant with, if you could break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be dead night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David, my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers, and the Salakia, as the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David, my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Praise the Most High. And as you see, people, there's no single paternal haplogroup as populous as the haplogroup E1B1A. And within that haplogroup E1B1A, who's the most populous among those groups in that haplogroup? It's E1B1A 7 and 8. Praise the Most High. That's definitely Judah and Levi, I believe. I mean, it has to be, because that's what he just promised right here, people. So praise the Most High, man, for my father David, the promise made to him, and my brothers the Levites. Salutations, saints. Salutations. Exhortations. And you heathens, you know you're going down, because he's going to be jealous for his holy name, you chumps. That's right. That's right. So he gonna multiply, as the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured. So will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Khan, Aman,